Texas Tech defensive coordinator Shiel Wood with me, David Smoak, 365 Sports. And it's been a few months, but I remember we had that conversation when you were back in the spring. And what a year. What an absolutely amazing year. So with all of the planning, the roster development, adding players from every direction, that seems like, okay, there's an acquisition of a lot of talent. We've heard it, we've read it, all that. But it doesn't mean it works. Why has it worked besides just great talent and also your addition to the coaching staff?
Well, the first thing is the leadership of our head coach, Joey McGuire, the culture that he's established here at Texas Tech. The energy that's in this building is extremely positive. The buy-in from our players in the locker room has been outstanding. I think that the collective group of our coaching staff, our team this year, our roster, which includes guys that were on this team previously last year and certainly includes a lot of guys that are new to Texas Tech for the first time, but their willingness to be in alignment with the core values and the things that Coach McGuire stresses every day, their willingness to buy in and do the work and be a process-oriented team that's just worried about trying to go 1-0 every day and get better and own their box and dominate their box. I just think that our guys love playing football. They love each other. And Coach McGuire talks all the time. That's our secret weapon is our love for one another and our love for the game and how hard we play. And I think that our guys have bought in. They put in the work. They're doing a great job of being professional in everything they do in terms of taking care of their body, devoting extra time to learning their assignment, to studying film for each week's opponent. And because of those things, we've laid a foundation in the offseason and in the training camp that we were able to build on and continue to improve week in and week out through a rigorous Big 12 schedule. And that's put us in a great position for a tremendous opportunity this Saturday in the Big 12 championship against BYU.
Shiel, had you met Joey prior to the interview process to join him at Tech?
I had not met Coach McGuire. The first time that I interacted with him was during that interview process. But I did have some people that are friends of mine that knew Coach McGuire quite well and had tremendous things to say about him as a person, as a football coach, as a leader. And fortunately, I got some good advice, and everything that I was told has turned out to be true. And he's a great guy to work for, and I know our players certainly love playing for him.
How much of it is contagious? And what you talk about as a team, the family, the love, or whatever, that's easier said than done again. And then when you win, of course, it helps a lot. But what is it like right now with this football program, with what you have in front of you, with no matter what you've accomplished already?
Well, winning creates a really positive atmosphere, obviously, and it kind of feeds on itself and builds and grows. But I think that at the end of the day, I'm really proud of our defensive coaching staff and what we've been able to accomplish, getting on the same page. Our guys are doing a tremendous job coaching their position group, not only in terms of assignment and fundamentals within the scheme that we're playing, but also just how they prepare our guys to be really schooled up each week on each opponent that we're playing and have a lot of great pre-snap awareness in terms of formations, situations in the game, all those types of things. And at the end of the day, I think that our players have bought in from a standpoint of, I think it takes a little bit of time when you're doing something new collectively together. But I think that what they have seen is our coaches are doing a great job of laying out, a foundation for them in terms of the scheme and how to play it, how to play with great fundamentals, how to play with great leverage. And I think that early on, as we laid that foundation, they started to realize, hey, if I can do these things well that coach is telling me to do, I can see tangible results and I'm having success. I'm winning my one-on-one matchup. I'm leveraging the play the way that I need to. Collectively as a group, we're running to the football. We're doing the things that good defenses do, setting great edges in the run game, doing a great job rushing the quarterback. And I think that as those guys have seen the success that they're having individually and collectively, the buy-in has just become stronger and stronger. And that's been my experience in the past with the success we've had defensively, is that guys, as they continue to improve, it just strengthens that buy-in and that belief that we're on the right track, and then you just continue to get better and better as the season goes on, and hopefully you're playing your best defense at the end of the year, and I believe that's what we're doing right now.
Are you a believer that you just let your guys go? Like, I mean, there's got to be, reads and all that, and dissecting film and schemes, etc. But are you a believer of just letting your dogs, your thoroughbreds run?
Well, what I would say to that is, and it's kind of funny you mentioned it. I mentioned this to our defense last night after the conclusion of practice. Way back in spring ball and way back in fall camp and in the off season, we said we wanted to play hard. And on the surface, that seems like a really, narrow thing to accomplish, narrow goal. Playing hard, that's running to the football, that's, straining, all that kind of stuff. But to truly play hard, you have to have a mastery of what you're doing, your assignment. And it's got to be a mastery to where you don't have to think about it, but you just have to know it. It's got to be ingrained in you. It's got to be habitual. And then you've got to have a great understanding of how to read and react to the scheme of the plays that you're getting ready to see within the assignment that you have. And so I think that you talk about playing free. I would say that when you have a mastery of what you're doing within the scheme that you're playing, and when you have the ability to understand how to execute it with a great fundamental approach, then you can play hard, and that is playing free because you can read and react. You have anticipation of what's getting ready to happen. And so at the end of the day, yes, I think our defense is playing free because they have tremendous confidence in what we're doing, the approach that we have. They understand their fit within the scheme of the defense, and that's allowing them to play free, and that's leading to a lot of the success that we're having, in my opinion.
I am fortunate to be a Heisman voter. I'm also fortunate to be voting for a lot of these individual awards, but it's about the team. But you do have a player in Jacob Rodriguez who's getting an incredible amount of attention, David Bailey and others. How sometimes that's great, first of all, that all that's happening. But there are others as well, Shiel, that are having great success. Has that ever – they just love what the attention the other guys are getting?
I would say this, any of the accolades that our guys individually or collectively have earned or received have been earned with their approach. And so it's a credit to them. And I think that our guys understand, and we've got, I think, a very great character and leadership about us with a lot of our guys. And I think that they understand that although they may be singled out for some of the great plays that they're making and all those types of things, they understand that it's a collective effort of a lot of guys doing a lot of things at a really high level that's allowing everybody to have success. And so I think they're aware of that. I think that they're appreciative of that. And those things have not phased our approach. And that's a credit to our players and their leadership and maturity, that they're just worried about the process and doing everything that they can do to be the very best that they can be every day, understanding that that's going to put us in the best position to be successful.
I forgot who told me this. I picked the brain of some of the guys that cover Tech, but that they said that Jacob Rodriguez said you're the funniest guy he's ever been around, but that you don't really show that much. You got a dry sense of humor. I could kind of see a little bit of that. You're focused, locked in, whatever. But are you the funniest guy that he's ever been around?
Well, I am, but he just hasn't been around anybody that's funny at all.
I love it. And I love that's the kind of stuff you have when things are going well. How much do you and Leftwich play chess during practice, even though there are certain things both of you know is on the itinerary, the to-do list, whatever you're doing from practice to practice?
Yeah, you talking about just kind of back and forth between offense and defense?
Yeah.
Well, I think in in the off season, in spring practice, in fall camp, you're doing some of those things. Once you get into the regular season, it's really more about preparing for the opponent each and every week. We go some good on good against each other, but and that's somewhat limited. And when we're doing those things, good on good, we're still doing it with the mindset of these are the things that we're practicing for the opponent that we're getting ready to play. And sometimes what they may do on a specific play during practice during the season, or what we may do, doesn't necessarily match up with what we're going against at that particular rep. But we understand that we're trying to get prepared for the team that we're getting ready to play on Saturday. But
Be
I will
like-
say, Mac is a tremendous coach. Our whole offensive staff, they're having a ton of success. We're having a ton of success on offense, and we've got some really great players. But our coaches are doing a tremendous job preparing those guys each and every week.
BYU rematch. You beat them, and you kind of strangled them in Lubbock, and eventually just you overwhelmed them. They're really good. Kalani Sataki, it's great to see both he and Joey being taken care of this week. But your thoughts about Bachmeier and the challenge, because he could not get going against you. None of them really could. Your thoughts about, as a freshman, when you started watching him on film and what he can do, how impressive is he?
Well, I would say this. I've got a ton of respect for Coach Sataki and BYU and everything that they're doing. They're a really well-coached football team with some really good players. Bear, obviously, as the quarterback of their offense, is having an outstanding year. I think he creates a lot of problems for you in the run game, in the passing game. To be a true freshman and to come in and do what he has done for their offense and for their football team really is quite remarkable. It's hard to come in at any position as a true freshman and be a guy that can really contribute in a meaningful way. And to have the guy that's the leader of your offense as a true freshman being able to do what he's doing just speaks, I think, to the level of the preparation and his talent level and all the hard work that he's putting in, and also their coaching staff preparing him, and then their whole entire team, from their offensive line to the skill guys, the tight ends, the backs, the receivers, collectively supporting him and playing at a really high level. And we're expecting a tremendous ball game, and they've got a great offense. They produce a lot of points. They produce a lot of rush yards, pass yards. They put a lot of stress on you in different ways, and certainly it's going to be a great test for us coming up this weekend.
When did you know that coaching was not that was going to be your love? You played, and obviously the story's been told. You were a wide receiver at Wofford. When did you know, though, coaching was going to be your career?
I would say probably maybe my sophomore year of college, something like that, is really when I decided that's what I wanted to do. When I finished school and finished playing, I just loved the game. My dad was a high school and college player, coached early in his career at the high school level and at the college level. I'd been around it as he transitioned into athletic administration and then academic administration in his career. I stayed in touch with the college game, throughout my childhood, and was just always around ball. So I guess to a certain extent, it was kind of in my blood, and just loved the game. And then my time at Wofford, my head coach, Mike Ayers, and the coaching staff that was there were tremendous coaches and leaders. And I think at a young age in college, I was able to have an awareness of how special they were as a group. And I think that kind of led, to my passion for the game, continuing to grow and, wanting to see myself in a career path that they had chosen.
You have been everywhere. Obviously, your alma mater, Georgia Tech, Georgia Southern, Army. They play Navy, of course, pretty soon in an incredible traditional. You were there 2 years. Troy, Tulane, Houston, along with Willie Fritz, and now Texas Tech. Man, that's a lot of moving around. That's I always wonder, do coaches have like every former like color, logo, whatever in their closet? But you have moved around, and it seems like you've settled in. But I got a feeling you've got other people that would love for you to be their head coach one day. I know that's just to say that, but how hard is that? How it's your career, but how difficult has that been at times?
Well, I couldn't do what I do without the support of my wife. She has been outstanding. We've got 2 young daughters, and she's really been remarkable in our marriage and our life with our family, supporting my career and really sacrificing her career to a large extent. She's a physician and has kind of put that on the back burner to support me in my endeavors with my career. When I started out coaching, I was at Wofford in 2 stints. But my first 8 years of coaching college football were spent at my alma mater for 8 years and 2 stints. So I was there for a while. And then I got an opportunity to go to Georgia Tech with Nate Woody, who became the defensive coordinator there. He and I had worked together at Wofford. He's a mentor of mine. And unbeknownst to me, that one move going to Georgia Tech in Atlanta in the winter of 2018 for the 2018 season would kind of just set in motion a chain of events that led to a lot of moves in the last number of years. And I don't know that anybody would look at a career and want that or say, hey, I'd love to move around and buy a house and sell a house every other year or so. But it's just kind of the path of life that that we're leading right now and have led. And I will say this, but I've been very blessed that the moves that I've made have been tremendous opportunities professionally for me and tremendous opportunities for our family. So we're very thankful for that. And Texas Tech is a really special place, and I'm looking forward to being here and helping us really build something for the long term that the Texas Tech alumni and fan base can be really proud of.
Well, it's happening. Bernadette is your wife, and we've told that story about how you stepped away so she could pursue what she needed to do in the medical field, which is still just an unselfish, great story that you should do. I mean, but not everybody would, like step away. When you were away from coaching, even though you probably were doing things, did you miss it even more and you couldn't wait to get back?
I definitely missed it. It's kind of the coaching profession is somewhat unique, I think, whether that's high school, college, pro. It's just very, calendar driven. At certain times of the year, X, Y, and Z is what you do, and you don't really have any flexibility with it. And that's not a bad thing. That's just the nature of the beast. And so to have had that as my career experience up until that point when I stepped away, it was kind of strange, to be quite honest with you. You got a weekend in the fall. You can choose what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
But I definitely missed the game and knew that was just a season of our lives. And it was absolutely a tremendous opportunity for our family at that point in time for me to be able to stay at home with our daughter and support my wife with her career. I would not change anything about that. I think it helped me grow a lot as a person and as a husband and as a father. I look back on those times with fond memories, and without that period of time, I don't know that I'd be sitting where I am today. And then I got very fortunate, obviously, that I was able to get back in after a 3-year hiatus and kind of take it from there.
All right, a couple more things. I know, Shiel, first of all, thanks for your time. Shiel Wood, Texas Tech defensive coordinator. You were at Army for a couple of years. My dad was a Naval Academy graduate. He passed away in 2015 with my mom the same year, earlier in the year. But I can't tell you, I get so emotional when I watch that game, even when I was like 5 or 6, watching it on a black and white TV with my father. I'm interviewing Blake Horvath later today, the Navy quarterback, an amazing player. What was that like, Shiel, to be a part of that for a couple of years?
Well, first of all, thank you to your father and his service to our country. As a patriotic American, coaching at Army West Point was a tremendous opportunity and just an unbelievable experience. My wife and our 2 daughters, we got to live on post. So wow. On the base there at West Point, as a coach at Army, as a full-time coach, they allow you to do that. So we lived in military housing for 2 years on post. It was an interesting time because we moved in literally the week of the shutdown in March of 2020 when New York was shutting down with the COVID pandemic. So that first year was just kind of strange. Really, the 2 years that I was there, to be quite honest with you, we didn't really get maybe the full experience of being in a place like that because of the nature of the COVID pandemic. But it really was. I met so many tremendous people, leaders of our country. Leaders. The players that you get to coach, the character, the work ethic, the leadership that they have, and knowing that when they commission as second lieutenants in the United States Army upon graduation, they're going to go out into the Army and lead our troops. It's just pretty cool to be a part of. Just a ton of different experiences being around that place, being associated with the other academies, Air Force, Navy, those academy games, certainly the Army Navy game. Those were tremendous experiences that I'll never forget and cherish for the rest of my life.
What is one trait that's underrated that not enough people know about with Joey McGuire?
Golly, I would just say his consistent positive energy is remarkable. He is the same person every day. And I do think that story is getting out there a little bit more. So I don't know if that's something that people don't know about him as much or not, but he is such a positive individual, and the consistent energy that he brings with that positivity. I've never been around an individual like that, and it is a genuine personality. He is so welcoming to everybody that he meets. My wife and daughters come to practice often. Every time they're there, he makes an intentional effort during practice, after practice, when he sees them, whatever, to come up and speak to my wife, to speak to my daughters, to give them a hug. He's just so gracious with his time. And that's just with everybody that he meets. People that are associated with the program, people that are associated with the game of football, recruits, their families. It's really remarkable to be around a guy that just treats people with so much dignity and respect, and outgoing personality that makes people feel really, really great. When you leave an interaction with Joey McGuire, you feel outstanding about life, and that's a really neat thing.
Yeah, and Joey told me that when he talked to Sean Bell about you when he was going through the search, and Sean told him everything he saw in you, and that sold him too, and that you could see it. Shiel, good luck. To give me 15 or 20 minutes on a week where you have a game to play for a championship and a college football berth and more. We appreciate your time very much. Good luck this Saturday, and thanks for your time.
Thank you, David. Thanks for all you do to support and promote our game.
Shiel Wood, Texas Tech defensive coordinator on 365 Sports.